So for example, let's say that Alice will deposit some assets into the contract. Let's say this is asset 1, this is USDC, but since we are providing to a smart contract an AMM, which is kind of a liquidity pool, so we are going to provide 2 assets actually. So it's 5 USDC, but we are also providing 5 euros, and this is because the exchange rate so far between both is 1, because we have the same amount of both in the AMM, which is 0 right now. So this will deduct from Alice 5 euros and 5 USDC. If you execute this, we will see that in a moment. Okay, there you go. So now we can see that we have 5 units of each. This number is much larger, but this is multiplied by a factor of 1 trillion or something like this. But we can also display the units here, which is 5 on 5. So now let's say Bob wants to trade some USDC and swap them to euros to then put it back on Stellar. So let's make the swap. USDC is asset 1, which we have, and asset 2 is euro, which we need. So we will call swap asset 1 for asset 2, and let's say we want to receive 1 euro, for example, and let's call it from Bob. Okay. So if you submit this, after a while you see that we received this euro and we paid for that 1.25 units of USDC. This is because we have to pay a bit more for this transaction. Now we see deposit, we swap. Now let's say that Bob wants to have this euro back on Stellar, which is kind of the final step of this storytelling. So let's go to Bob. Let's go back to the last that layout. Let's go to Bob, and so let's execute a withdrawal. For doing that, we're going to extrinsics, which are special functions that we can call from our palettes. So we go to Stellar Bridge, and we see that we have this function, this deposit. This is used automatically in our bridge when a transaction is fetched from Horizon in the deposit. But here, this withdraw to Stellar, this function, we can call it actually manually. So we need to provide the asset code, which is euro, and the asset issuer. And we want that euro that we swap back again to Stellar. So we submit this transaction. So if everything goes well, we should see 1 euro appearing here. And there you go. Now we received this from the escrow account, if you remember. So everything that happened here is available to see in Horizon, in Stellar Expert, or in Horizon itself. So this is basically the demonstration of the whole thing.